said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. And in the master's chambers, they're gathered for their feast. They stab it with their steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. I had to find the passage back to the place I was before. Relax, said the nightman, we are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
This is your WITN Morning News Update on 103.7 WTIB and 94.1 WNBU.
Good morning with your WITN News Update. I'm Heather King. The controversial law known as HB 2 may soon be history. A special session to repeal the law is planned for the state legislature tomorrow. Governor Pat McCrory issued a video statement Monday confirming he would call the special session. Republican legislative leaders say they'll take up the repeal of the law that requires people to use the restroom that corresponds with their birth certificate. Critics say it's discriminatory against the transgender community. This comes after Charlotte repealed the city ordinance that prompted the state legislation. McCrory asked the Charlotte City Council to repeal this ordinance in September, promising a special session to repeal the law at that time, but the effort did not pass in Charlotte. One local LGBT advocate in Greenville, Amy Bright, says she is upset that Charlotte repealed the ordinance. McCrory also issued a statement Monday saying he would sign legislation passed last week that would reportedly strip his successor of significant powers and would require Governor-elect Roy Cooper to have his top agency heads confirmed by lawmakers. Republicans hold a veto-proof majority in both chambers of the state's General Assembly. The legislation would also drastically cut the number of political appointees Cooper could hire to help run his agencies. The search for a missing man from the East has ended with the discovery of his body. Now a homicide investigation is underway. The body of Gary Morton was found Monday on his property on Wetherington Road in Jacksonville, and the sheriff's office says they believe foul play was involved. Authorities say they found Morton's car partially burned on Sunday in the woods off Haws Run along Southwest Creek. Before finding the body, Morton and his dog had been missing for 11 days. Authorities say they can't release specifics on who found the body, but they say they do have persons of interest. Investigators are now asking the public's help, finding anyone who may have been hitchhiking in the area of Southwest Creek Bridge on December 8th, the day Morton went missing, through the 18th, the day his body was found. A man was robbed in his own yard at knife point. The Martin County Sheriff's Office says it happened near Beargrass late Monday morning. Lieutenant Drew Robinson says the homeowner was outside when two men walked up and demanded money. The victim, who lives in the 4000 block of Beargrass Road, suffered minor cuts from the knife being held up to him during the struggle, according to Robinson. The two men got away in a dark pickup truck with silver vent shades on the windows. They were last seen headed towards Highway 17. Well, you wouldn't want to be without a coat during this winter weather, and thanks to a generous donation by the Fraternal Order of Police, several local kids will be able to bundle up. Members of the Fraternal Order of Police's Tri-County Lodge in New Bern collected the 30 brand-new winter coats for kids who may not have the necessities to stay warm and gave them to the Creighton County School District for distribution. School officials say this is greatly needed and will be given to kids after they return from winter break. The coats were given to school counselors who are able to determine if a child needs something warm to wear. School officials say they wait until after break to give out the coats to see if any kids in need received coats for Christmas. Those are your WITN News headlines. I'm Heather King.
Mostly cloudy for your Tuesday with a few morning sprinkles possible. Chilly with highs in the mid-40s throughout the day. Today, rain chance about 30% for tonight. Clearing through the evening, lows in the lower 30s. Wednesday, sunshine and mild with highs in the mid-50s. Lows tomorrow night around 40 degrees. And for your Thursday, 61 degrees for the high. partly cloudy skies. A chance of rain comes back our way. A 20% chance on Thursday with lows right around 40 degrees. Right now, 33 degrees in Greenville, 36 in New Bern. Talk of the Town Tuesday, December 20th, 2016 on 103.7 WTIB and 94.1 WNBU.
Eastern North Carolina's truck headquarters is
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. We have over 100 new Rams in stock. That's the largest in Eastern North Carolina.
If you're in the market for a new truck, now is the time. It's the Black Friday sales event now through November 30th. Buy now and get 20% off MSRP on select new Ram trucks.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Can see it.
Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but US Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because US Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. US Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local US Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
I'm Matthew Sessoms, General Manager at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're planning on breaking sales records this month because the end of the year means huge savings for you. Our customers are very important to us, and we are striving to be Eastern North Carolina's best in sales and service. Stop in and see us at our Black Friday event. Get 20% off select new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
That's a tough shot.
You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he switched that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
My prescription refills.
My son's shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results.
My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant My Chart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and workweek daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
Our brand for Eastern North Carolina.
Fiat is here at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Come see us.
Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and workweek daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215.
Welcome into Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton.
Everyone, why are we all standing around? Let's go.
News, weather, sports, and of course, all the local info you need to start your day.
You read my news!
This is Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton.
Please tell me this is some kind of sick, tasteless joke.
On 103.7 WTIB, 94.1 WNBU, Cable 7 in Greenville, and now listen or watch live at WTIBFM.com. Now here's your host for Talk of the Town.
I thought you were kidding!
Henry Hinton.
34 degrees at 7:13. Welcome in, everybody. Talk of the Town Tuesday, December the 20th. It is 5 shopping days to Christmas, and I got to get out there and do that today. We're having our office party this afternoon, and I have to go buy something for my Secret Santa this morning. You participating in that?
I'm not.
What?
I'm not.
Bah humbug.
I know. I'm a Scrooge.
What's up with that?
Scrooge.
Michael, you're participating, aren't you?
I have to leave at 4.
What a bunch of daggone.
I got to go pick my kid up.
What a bunch of Grinches. What a bunch of Grinches.
I can't help it.
All right, good. Well, I'm going to get something you're not, so there you go. 7:14. I wish I hadn't asked now. What a downer. You guys are
Yes,
clearly
I'm
not
getting something.
You guys are clearly not in the Christmas spirit.
Bah humbug.
14 after 7 o'clock. And let's see what the temperatures are going to be like today, because I'm ringing that bell today, baby. I'm a ringing her. The patchy drizzle with a chance of rain before noon. How wonderful. Then a slight chance of rain afternoon. Mostly cloudy. The high temperature today, 39. That's why I wore several layers of clothes today, including my red Christmas sweater. You didn't say anything, McGee.
Yeah, it's
bright.
bright.
Looks semi-orange on that camera. That camera may need some adjustment.
Looks good on you.
Yeah. Chance of rain is 30%, but 39 degrees today. 29 tonight. Sunny and 55 tomorrow. Why couldn't we be ringing tomorrow? You people who get to ring the bell tomorrow, what's up with that? We're going to be in 39. You're going to be in 55. And then sunshine at 58 on Thursday. I noticed this morning that the forecast for next week is looking like 70 some days, 65,
I saw that.
70.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, boom, little Christmas vacation golf.
Saw that.
What do you think?
Yeah, it looks good.
Could happen.
Looks good. Christmas Day looks a lot better than what it looked a week ago.
Yeah.
Could see some sunshine now on Christmas Day.
No matter how hard we try, here it is Christmas week. No matter how hard we try, we can't get away from HB2, can we? We cannot get away from HB2. So Representative Greg Murphy is going to be live in the studio in a little while. After the top of the hour, after 8 o'clock, he's going to be in the studio because we want to get his opinion. Number one, he wrote an editorial about all the changes that were made by the legislature last week in policy with regard to the governor's powers. We want to talk to him about that. But in addition to that, the governor has called let me make sure you understand this. The governor has called the legislature back to Raleigh again tomorrow. Morning, Heather. The legislature was there last week in three special sessions. They're going to go back tomorrow for another special session. Christmas week. They're going back tomorrow for a special session. Why? Because yesterday morning, the Charlotte City Council repealed their ordinance with regard to their bathroom policy. Now, immediately after doing that, Roy Cooper put out a press release declaring victory on HB2. Roy Cooper put out a press release that basically said, I got them to repeal HB2, and I'm suggesting that the legislature come back to Raleigh to do the repeal, because in a 10-0 vote, probably just the Christmas spirit hit them, the Charlotte City Council decided to do away with their bathroom policy, which I've said from day one was and is a political strategy to defeat Governor McCrory.
And it worked.
It worked. And so now how dare they come back right here the week, or, the last week that the governor's going to be, in the last 2 weeks he's going to be governor. It's almost like a taunting kind of a thing, isn't it? It's almost a political taunt. Is it Roy Cooper's response to the legislature on what happened last week? Does it also prove how much power Roy Cooper had over this thing all along? You know, the ordinance that they repealed yesterday morning, it's the same deal that Governor McCrory had worked out with Charlotte in September. Same deal. No different. You guys repeal your ordinance, and then the legislature will repeal HB 2. It got slowed down and then stopped because Roy Cooper wanted it stopped in September. He called the crazy mayor of Charlotte down there. What's her name?
Jennifer Roberts.
Jennifer Roberts. He called Jennifer Roberts and said, "What are you doing? You can't do this. We're in the middle of a campaign and this thing's working." I mean, it's that simple, folks. Roy Cooper stopped this from happening in September, even after Jennifer Roberts had given a commitment to the governor that this was what she was about to do. WBTV television reported that night confirmation that Roy Cooper called Jennifer Roberts in September and said, "Please don't repeal that ordinance in Charlotte. This is working for me. This is going to help me beat McCrory." And of course, you know, we know what happened. It helped defeat the governor. So now, yesterday morning, in a surprise move, I don't know how much of a surprise it really was to legislators. I'm going to ask Greg Murphy that when he comes in shortly. I'm now hearing, I heard all day yesterday, this deal's been in the works for weeks. It's been in the works for weeks. It was supposed to have been done last week while the legislature was in town, which, by the way, would have saved the taxpayers a lot of money. But again, Roy Cooper got in the middle of it. I think that what may have happened last week was there was more wrangling about who was going to go first. There was some indication that Cooper was in the middle of it, saying to the legislature, "You guys repeal HB 2, and then Charlotte will repeal the city ordinance." And of course, a lot of the legislators went, "Heck no! We're not, Charlotte started this. They need to fix it. If they repeal their ordinance, then we'll come back to Raleigh." And that's probably why it didn't happen last week, from what I'm understanding now. But the governor has released a video. Did you see the video? Did you guys show this morning?
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Michael,
hang on. We got to get through the pre-roll, and then we'll play McCrory's video. Hang on just a second here. McCrory actually released a video, and he didn't mince words about Cooper's role in this. He basically said,
"Why should he?
This was all concocted as a political ploy to beat me, and there is just no doubt that what has happened here, and the reason that it's being done right now, is because they're trying to make Cooper look good." And by the way, let me say this too. Yesterday, when the first news of this broke, our good friends at the Good Old News and Observer immediately gave Cooper credit for it, saying Roy Cooper, the headline was something like, "Roy Cooper says the legislature will come back to Raleigh and repeal HB 2. And I'll tell you, that infuriated a lot of folks around Raleigh, and it especially infuriated the governor. So here was the governor's response. Turn this up. Here's the statement that Pat McCrory put out yesterday afternoon.
Hi, this is North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory. Now that the Charlotte ordinance has finally been repealed, the expectation of privacy in our showers, bathrooms, and locker rooms is restored and protected under previous state law. I have always publicly advocated a repeal of the overreaching Charlotte ordinance, but those efforts were blocked by Jennifer Roberts, Roy Cooper, and other Democratic activists. You know, the sudden reversal with little notice after the gubernatorial election has ended sadly proves this entire issue originated by the political left was all about politics at the expense of Charlotte and the entire state of North Carolina. But as I promised months ago, if the Charlotte Ordinance was repealed, I would call our General Assembly into special session to reconsider existing state legislation passed earlier this year. And I'm doing just that for this Wednesday. But it should also be noted that the whole issue of gender identity is a national issue that will be resolved by the courts and the United States Justice Department. Like all of us, I look forward to that resolution and to working with our state legislators in the coming days. Thank you, and may God continue to bless the great state of North Carolina.
So there's Governor McCrory's statement that was recorded late yesterday afternoon in the governor's mansion, kind of calling it like it is. This was nothing but a political strategy. Tom Campbell and the guys at NC Spin, they come up every year with a North Carolinian of the Year and announce it on their last show. So Tom gives me a vote every year, even though I don't do the show anymore. He always, there's about 15, 20 people he sends the email around to and says, please give us your vote for the most influential person in North Carolina this year. So a lot of people were saying McCrory should get it. I've been reading all the emails back and forth. A lot of people think Richard Burr should get it. I couldn't help myself. I gave a snarky response. I really did it in hoping that Chris Fitzsimon would respond. But I said, I think the North Carolinian of the Year, the most influential person in North Carolina this year, was the nameless, faceless political consultant that concocted the idea of HB2, that concocted the Charlotte Ordinance. I mean, am I wrong? Because there's a political strategist sitting back somewhere. I don't know what his name is or her name is, but it's just like all this stuff that was uncovered during the campaign with Veritas. All these hidden videos about, you know, these political consultants working for Hillary Clinton. Somewhere there's a political consultant sitting back laughing his tail off, going, my God, I can't believe this really worked. If it wasn't so sad, and if my governor hadn't gotten defeated as a result of it, I would, you know, it would almost be brilliant. But, you know, there's just no doubt that this thing's been a political strategy from the beginning. So now you want to know why the legislature's in the mood that it's in and they're stripping Roy Cooper of all his powers? I mean, just think about what's happened here. Cooper's been behind this from day one. It's clear. By the way, he hasn't denied it. I mean, come on, Governor-elect Cooper. Did you do it or not? Deny it or not? Did you stop this from happening in September before the election? Somebody should ask him that question. You think the News Observer will? Of course not, because we already know the answer. But, you know, all these people that are screaming and screaming and screaming overreach by the legislature, you need to think about, you know, kind of why they're, if they are overreaching, why they're overreaching. And by the way, I was wrong. McCrory signed the bill yesterday. I said that he probably wouldn't sign that bill with regard to taking away appointments from the governor, because I thought, you know, he sued the legislature over this appointment issue and won. But, you know, I think he's so frustrated and distraught at Roy Cooper and the Democrats. He's like, yeah, I'm going to sign it. So he signed it. And again, I have no inside information on that. I haven't talked to him about it, but I'm just guessing. He did, in his statement yesterday after he signed it, said that he believes that it is overreach for the legislature to require Cooper to have his cabinet secretaries confirmed by the Senate. But rather than not sign the bill or veto the bill, what he said was he thinks that Cooper should work this out after the first of the year. Yeah, that's going to happen. Yeah. They'll probably do it. They'll probably sit down and have a good conversation about it, won't they?
You would think.
Man, does this set up a nasty, nasty, nasty political environment in Raleigh.
Yeah, it does.
Who started it? Well, it just depends on your point of view. And by the way, since the legislature's coming back to Raleigh tomorrow for one more final year-end session, there are some advocating that, look, you guys, the legislature, listen to me. You had an opportunity to fix this Supreme Court thing last week and you didn't do it. With all that's gone on with the Democrats this week, go ahead and do it. Add 2 Supreme Court justices while you're in session tomorrow. Bob Harris, Carolina Reform Partnership, this morning in his blog. Governor McCrory is calling the legislature back for one more session before the end of the year, and his term ends to hit reset on House Bill 2, which means reformers on Jones Street have one more shot to add 2 justices to the state Supreme Court and protect the reforms that made North Carolina the fastest growing economy in the nation. Incoming Justice Mike Morgan rode millions of dollars worth of race-baiting ads and an Obama endorsement to his new seat on the bench. We knew Obama's judges tend to rule on ideology rather than the law, and Morgan seems to be no exception. He brings conflicts and ideological purity to a court that should be tough, fair, and impartial. Does anyone think Morgan won't look out for the special interests that bought his seat for him? The legislature has the authority to add 2 McCrory-appointed justices now, and there's precedent for acting before a new governor and legislature take the reins of state government. The Democrats protected their court majority when they expanded the Court of Appeals, letting Jim Hunt appoint 3 new judges days before he left. The courts ruled that perfectly legal. Roy Cooper voted for it and defended the move in court. Then they took partisan labels away because conservative judges kept winning elections. This legislature has one more shot. It should take it for reform's sake. There are going to be a lot of people in the legislature that agree with that. They're saying, look, based on what's happening here, based on how the Democrats have behaved in the last few weeks on this, let's go ahead and take the Supreme Court back too. Generally speaking, you would think that the leadership will not do that because Phil Berger, remember last week when the special session started, Phil Berger and Tim Moore did interviews going, hey, the only people talking about us doing this court packing thing is the media and the Democrats. We haven't talked about it as a caucus. But in his statement yesterday, McCrory actually says, I talked the legislature out of doing that. McCrory in the News Observer this morning saying the legislature was talking about adding 2 Supreme Court seats, and I thought that was wrong, and I told them I didn't want them to do that. So this is not over yet. This is not over. And back to HB2 with regard to sports, McGee. Luke DeCock this morning in the News and Observer, who's been tough on the legislature and HB2 from the beginning, says that if the legislature doesn't go ahead and repeal HB2, that he thinks the NCAA will continue to punish North Carolina down the road. He says if the General Assembly indeed repeals House Bill 2, the infamous HB2, what still has the potential to be a historic drought of sporting events in North Carolina could and should revert to a one-year blip. Should something go wrong, and we've seen that a special session of the legislature is very unpredictable, the door will shortly slam shut on the NCAA bid cycle that covers the 2018-19 to 2021-22 academic years, which will be announced in April. So what this columnist in the News Observer is saying this morning, if the legislature doesn't repeal HB2, North Carolina is going to lose out on NCAA championship games for the next 4 years.
I don't know.
I never thought it would happen to begin with, so I'm the wrong guy to comment on that. I never thought they'd take I never thought the ACC and the NCAA would have the guts to do what they did.
Me neither.
But you know what? I underestimated the liberalism that lives inside the NCAA, because we now know that Mark Emmert is a flaming liberal, the guy that runs the NCAA. It's just true. And one more comment before we move on to sports. There were a few defections yesterday away from Trump from the electors. But this whole hullabaloo that was created by the Democrats over the electors was just plain stupid. All the actors from Hollywood and people who were trying to get electors to switch their votes, what would have happened if that had actually taken place? The election would have ended up in the House of Representatives, and Trump would have been confirmed anyway. So their half-baked attempt to delegitimize the election was really one of the most ignorant things I've ever seen. Did you see the woman screaming in Wisconsin? She stood up screaming, "It's my America! It's my America!" One of my friends on Facebook posted that this morning and said underneath it, "I'm sorry, everybody doesn't get a trophy." All these folks that were saying, vote for anybody but Trump, anybody but Trump. That's a non-starter. What they really are upset about is that Hillary didn't win. They're still mad that Hillary didn't win, and they're still not willing to come to grips with the fact that Hillary Clinton as a candidate sucked. I mean, she was just a terrible candidate. She's a liar, and she and her husband's ambitions to be king of the country, king and queen of the country, have been, I mean, it was so thinly disguised to begin with that, this was just about her ambition. And her willingness to do anything to get there is what cost her the opportunity to get there. Lies, fraud, cover up. That's who Hillary Clinton is. And so, all these Democrats that were running around the country yesterday trying to get the electors not to vote for Trump, I mean, it's absurd. And I will say this, I've said from the beginning, I mean, I pray for our country. I pray for Donald Trump to be a good leader. Since the election has happened and he's become president-elect, I think we've all seen a side of him that gives us a glimmer of hope that the guy could end up being presidential and he could end up being, a leader who will take us where he says he's going to take us. But let's be honest. If you are the candidate that lost to Donald Trump, I mean, can Hillary really feel good about herself at night when she goes to bed now? She's like, she must wake up in the middle of the night right now and go, holy crap, I not only lost the presidency, I lost it to Donald Trump. So these wackos that you see at these yesterday, this is my country, this is my country. I was looking at these people going, my God. These people are crazy. They're trying to they complain about Trump, but yet they're out there trying to delegitimize the American system. What the heck is that? Shouldn't be surprising because, their attitude about things has not been very American from the beginning. And they're complaining about Russia. I mean, they've worked so hard to turn this into a socialist country. What's your concern with Russia? Although I have to say that thing that took place in Turkey yesterday,
just
my
sickening.
God.
Sickening.
It's just...
see, those photographs are just chilling.
And, did you see Putin's response to that?
I heard his response.
Of course, we're talking about the Turkish... He was supposedly an off-duty police officer, but obviously Islamic. And so the ambassador from Russia to Turkey is up making a speech in this art gallery. And this guy walks up behind him, Lee Harvey Oswald style, and just pumps bullets in the back of his head. I mean, it's caught on video. It's frightening. It's absolutely frightening. And Putin's response to that was, "We will retaliate." What's he going to do? Invade Turkey now?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I mean, it's all about Aleppo, right? It's all about Russia being a part of what Assad is doing in Syria. I don't really understand that either. I don't really understand that. I need someone to kind of explain why Putin, who is trying to really, they call the guy a butcher. I guess he is. But, I do believe that normalizing relations with Russia would not be a bad thing for the United States. But I will say this, for all of you who are now jumping on the bandwagon of doing that, keep in mind, I'm not trying to support Obama's point of view on this, but keep in mind, who you're asking to do business with. The guy is bad news. He ran the KGB, for crying out loud. And did he try to hack the American election? Probably. I think they tried to influence it. I think saying that, I think there's no doubt that they tried to influence the election. I don't have any problem with admitting that. It looks like the evidence is pretty overwhelming to that effect. But here's the thing: how holy? How can Obama be holier than thou when he runs around the country and does the same thing? I mean, he came right out and told people in Israel, "Don't vote for Netanyahu." So, how can you be like that and then turn around and say, "Well, this is horrible. Russia tried to influence our election"? It's just the way it goes in politics. 7:40. Do we have some sports?
We do.
Panthers.
What about them?
I tweeted.
What happened?
I don't tweet much. Did you see my tweet last night?
I missed it.
I got frustrated with Ron Rivera when Cam Newton, they were talking about him having a sore shoulder. He gets sacked. He comes up. He's holding his arm like his arm might be broken.
I did
he comes
see that.
off the field. They have to call a timeout, and I'm like, well, they're going to bring in Derek Anderson. And after the timeout, he goes back out. Of course, he played pretty good after that. But I'm like, the guy's holding his arm like his arm might be broken, coming off the field. They have to take a timeout, and they don't take him out of the game. But he went back and threw the ball pretty well after that.
He did.
And by the way, the Redskins aren't good. They're not good. I mean, what happened?
They didn't play well last night.
And I guess I lost my bet to Billy Weaver, right? There was no fight with Josh.
I didn't see one.
I was thinking last night, yesterday, Heather, Weaver and I had this bet that Josh Norman would start a fight last night. I said, it's going to happen. He'll start a fight. Because it's his former team. And they built that up so much in the pregame. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
But then, they show the video. They show Josh Norman out on the field before the game, and he's hugging everybody. And I'm like, well, he loves these guys. He's not going to fight with these guys. I'm going to lose lunch.
You're supposed to hit him.
I mean, he and Kelvin Benjamin were hugging. He and Cam Newton were hugging.
A lot of respect.
And, everybody thought that Cam Newton and Josh Norman hated each other because they got in fights at practice last year.
Yeah.
But it didn't, I think what happened was
lunch.
The Panthers dominated them all night, so it just didn't, turn into any, there's no reason to fight. We're going to get our butt kicked, so it doesn't matter. All right, here's McGee on sports.
Yeah, the final score of that game, Panthers 26, Redskins 15. Cam Newton threw for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win. Kicker Graham Gano made 4 field goals. Jonathan Stewart had 25 carries for a season-high 132 yards. Panthers improved to 6-8 and will host the Falcons on Christmas Eve. ECU men's basketball tonight. The Pirates will take on UNCW at Trask Coliseum in the 64th meeting between the two programs. Pirates are coming off an 18-point loss last Thursday to College of Charleston, while the Seahawks have won 7 in a row and are 10-1 on the season. Tip-off set for 6:30 tonight. Number 5 Duke beat Tennessee State last night, 65-55. And some ECU baseball news. Senior pitcher Evan Krasinski has been named a 2017 preseason third-team All-American selection by Collegiate Baseball. Krasinski was 8-1 last season with an American Conference best 2.01 ERA.
All right, very good. That is our sports update. Brought to you this morning, gentlemen, and ladies, by Beauty Bar Medi Spa. If you have not done anything for your wife yet? Or maybe you already have and you're trying to add something kind of to it, enhance the gift a little bit to show how much you love the lady of your life.
It's always good to enhance.
This is the time today to run by Beauty Bar Medi Spa and get a gift card. They have great gift cards. And I promise you, if your wife hasn't tried Beauty Bar Medi Spa yet, then she's missing out. This is a medical office with a spa atmosphere. It's Greenville's only medical office with a spa atmosphere. It's an absolutely beautiful facility when you walk in on Red Banks Road. They offer all sorts of things: medical-grade facials, spray tans, laser hair removal, True Sculpt body contouring. They have medical-grade skincare products, including Jane Iredale makeup. They will do facials. They do massages. And by the way, ladies, the same thing for you. If you haven't gotten your man something, let me tell you, I've had 3 treatments over there. Nikki Blunt and Meredith Baratich, MD, who own that place, they've invited me over. They wanted me to kind of test it out and see and give them some feedback. I've been their guinea pig. And by the way, Nikki, if you're listening, I'll be your guinea pig again. Because that back facial thing I had was like a back massage with all of these great lotions and things they put on your back. And my back right now is pure as a baby's behind. I got news for you. So, well, I mean, they got all the toxins out of my back. McGee, I bet you have toxins in your back that need to be removed.
I did.
You should go to the Beauty Bar Medi Spa. I'm telling you, it's awesome. I just thought of it as a great massage, to be honest with you. The telephone number is 752-1406, 752-1406. Beauty Bar Medi Spa, Red Banks Road in Greenville. Check it out. Great gift card idea, man. 7:45. We'll be right back.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but U.S. Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because U.S. Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. U.S. Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
I'm Matthew Sessoms, General Manager at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're planning on breaking sales records this month because the end of the year means huge savings for you. Our customers are very important to us, and we are striving to be Eastern North Carolina's best in sales and service. Stop in and see us at our Black Friday event. Get 20% off select new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he swished that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
My prescription refills.
My son shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results. My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and workweek daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
This is your WITN Morning News Update on 103.7 WTIB and 94.1 WNBU.
Good morning with your WITN News Update. I'm Heather King. The controversial law known as HB2 may soon be history in our state. A special session to repeal the law is planned for the state legislature tomorrow. Governor Pat McCrory issued a video statement Monday confirming he would call the special session. Republican legislative leaders say they'll take up the repeal of the law that requires people to use the public restroom that corresponds with their birth certificate. Critics say it's discriminatory against the transgender community. This comes after Charlotte repealed the city ordinance that prompted the state legislation. McCrory asked the Charlotte City Council to repeal this ordinance in September, promising a special session to repeal the controversial law at that time, but the effort did not pass. One local LGBT advocate in Greenville, Amy Bright, says she is upset Charlotte repealed the ordinance. McCrory also issued a statement Monday saying he's signing the legislation passed last week that would reportedly strip his successor of significant powers and will require Governor-elect Roy Cooper to have his top agency heads confirmed by lawmakers. Republicans hold a veto-proof majority in both chambers of the state's General Assembly. The legislation would also drastically cut the number of political appointees Cooper could hire to run his agencies. The search for a missing man from the East has ended with the discovery of his body. Now a homicide investigation is underway. The body of Gary Morton was found Monday on his property in Weatherington Road in Jacksonville, and the sheriff's office says they do believe foul play was involved. Authorities say they found Morton's car partially burned on Sunday in the woods off Haws Run along Southwest Creek. Before discovering his body, Morton and his dog had been missing for 11 days. Authorities say they can't release specifics on who discovered his body, but say they do have persons of interest. Investigators are also asking for information about finding out who may have been hitchhiking in that area near his home between the days of December 8th, the day that Morton went missing, through the 18th of this month, which is the day his body was found. A man in the East was robbed in his own yard at knife point. The Martin County Sheriff's Office says that robbery happened in Beargrass late Monday morning. Lieutenant Drew Robinson says the homeowner was outside when two men walked up and demanded money. The victim, who lives in the 4,000 block of Beargrass Road, suffered minor cuts from the knife being held up to him during a struggle, according to Robinson. The two men got away in a dark pickup truck with silver vent shades on the windows. They were last seen headed towards Highway 17. Well, you wouldn't want to be without a coat during this winter weather, and thanks to a generous donation from the Fraternal Order of Police, several local kids will be able to bundle up. Members of the Fraternal Order of Police's Tri-County Lodge collected 30 brand new winter coats for kids who may not have the necessities to stay warm and gave them to the Craven County School District for distribution. School officials say this is greatly needed and will be given to kids as they return from winter break. The coats were given to school counselors who are able to determine if a child needs something warm to wear. School officials say they wait until after break to give out the coats to see if any kids in need receive coats for Christmas. Those are your WITN News headlines. I'm Heather King.
Eastern Carolina weather.
Could have some patchy drizzle with a chance of some rain before noon today, then a slight chance of rain afternoon. Mostly cloudy and a high temperature, only 39 degrees today. Chance of precipitation 30%, partly cloudy, low 29 tonight. And then things will warm up tomorrow and the sun comes back out, thank goodness. Sunshine and 55 on Wednesday. Sunshine 58 on Thursday. Current temperature right now, 35 degrees in Greenville, 36 degrees in New Bern, 7:51. Nice to have everybody with us here this morning. I need to correct myself. I was talking about the Beauty Bar Medi Spa. I don't know why I have a brain lock on this, but I called Dr. Baratich Meredith. It's Melissa Baratich, MD. I knew that. I did that last week again, McGee. If I do that again, hit me.
I will.
But it doesn't change the fact that you have toxins on your back that need to be.
No, it does not.
But you should.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whose name is what. You're right.
All right, 7:52. Let's get a break in. We'll do a laugh track when we come back with our Tuesday Talk of the Town on 103.7, 94.1. We'll be right back.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys. Fallback price, $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
My prescription refills.
My son shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results. My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he swished that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
I'm Matthew Sessoms, General Manager at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're planning on breaking sales records this month because the end of the year means huge savings for you. Our customers are very important to us, and we are striving to be Eastern North Carolina's best in sales and service. Stop in and see us at our Black Friday event. Get 20% off select new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but US Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because US Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. US Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys, fallback price $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the fallback savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Talk of the Town at 7:55. Let's do a laugh track this morning. Comedian Todd Barry on this morning's Talk of the Town laugh track.
I discovered a great store this past holiday season, The Body Shop. Oh my God. That is the perfect last-minute, thoughtless gift warehouse. You can shop there with your eyes closed. Grapefruit bath gel. Let's see, my mom eats grapefruit, she bathes. Boom. Nice bottle, no need to buy wrapping paper. Total shopping time, 9 seconds. But if you're going to send someone a present, send it Federal Express. Oh my God, they're unbelievable. You call up FedEx, you're like, I have something I want delivered. It's there already? I haven't even put it in the box yet. No, I'm actually looking at it right now. It's on my kitchen table. Oh my God, it's gone. That was good work. What? My dad likes the sweater? He's trying it on. It's too big on him. You're going to fly him to Macy's to exchange it? But the receipt is sitting... Oh, thank you.
I don't think FedEx actually does that, do they?
That's what they did.
All right, we'll be back.
I'm Matthew Sessoms, General Manager at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're planning on breaking sales records this month because the end of the year means huge savings for you. Our customers are very important to us, and we are striving to be Eastern North Carolina's best in sales and service. Stop in and see us at our Black Friday event. Get 20% off select new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he swished that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep is proud to announce that they now sell new Fiat cars. Fiat has arrived in eastern North Carolina, and you can now buy a new Fiat for less than $17,000 at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Come check out the new Fiat 500 and the 500X crossover, even the gorgeous 124 Spider convertible. It's a new car brand for eastern North Carolina.
Fiat is here at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Come see us.
Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
My prescription refills.
My son's shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results. My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
It's 8:02.
Lots of great music coming up this hour. This is Cable 7, where new music lives.
Waking up never sounded so good.
Embarrass your medical mumbo jumbo.
Hello! Welcome into Talk of the Town with Henry Hinton.
Oh, my.
News, weather, sports, and of course, all the local info you need to start your day.
Is that a real show?
No, it's somebody's making a joke. Forget it.
Talk of the Town on 103.7 WTIB, 94.1 WNBU, Cable 7 in Greenville. And now, listen or watch live at WTIBFM.com. Brought to you by Massey Toyota in Kinston. Experience the Massey difference at 1-800-NEW-MASSEY and MasseyToyota.com.
Everybody still awake? All right, big finish.
Now, here's your host for Talk of the Town, Henry Hinton.
Okay, welcome back. Hour 2 of Talk of the Town. Tuesday morning, December 20th. Merry Christmas, everybody. It is Christmas week. I guess we can say it's Christmas week, right? Yeah. Heather King is here. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning.
Trent McGee is here. Good morning, McGee.
Good morning.
We are going to have Greg Murphy in the studio this morning. Dr. Greg Murphy, who is our House of Representatives member in District 9 for the North Carolina Legislature, with all that's going on tomorrow with the special session to allegedly repeal HB 2. We talked about it at length last hour, and then, of course, all the stuff that took place last week in the special sessions to, as some people would say, strip the powers of the governor. So we'll talk about all that live in the studio in about 10, 15 minutes with Greg Murphy, who has to go back to Raleigh again tomorrow for the legislature. Now, I got something really fun here. I was going to bring this up. So the History Channel has come up with a survey. They've surveyed people, different age groups, to ask them what are the most significant things that have happened, historic events type things, not like, you got an engagement ring, but, what are the most significant things that have happened in your lifetime? And they interviewed different people like millennials, which would be your group, Rizzo, baby boomers, which would be my group, and then Generation X. Would that be your group, Heather?
I think so.
And my group.
You'd probably be Generation X. Yeah.
He's only 2 years younger than me.
We're about the same age.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant.
Heather and I are young.
And then it says the silent. Who's the silent generation? Is that like the greatest generation? The older than me? Who's the silent generation? I don't know who
I haven't heard that. label before.
All right, so let's go around the room. Most significant. We'll start with you, millennial.
Okay, that's made up of about 50 million children born between 1925 and 1945.
Yeah, the greatest generation, what I would call.
Okay.
All right, Mark Rizzo in the control room this morning, millennial. The most significant historic event in your lifetime, what is it?
I would probably say 9/11, honestly.
9/11. All right, let's go to the Generation X. Most significant thing that has happened in your lifetime?
I had 9/11 too.
9/11. McGee?
Yep. Same.
Michael, I think that you would probably be a baby boomer. Are you?
I think it's 64 is the cutoff date for baby boomers, but I think that's wrong. I should not be a baby boomer.
No, 64. I'm a baby boomer.
Yes, you are, but I think the cutoff date is 64.
You mean 1964?
Yeah, that's too late.
So then you're Generation X too, I guess.
I would say either the shuttle explosion in the 80s or 9/11, one of the two.
Interesting. And, you know, I'm a baby boomer, so when I first heard this, the first thing that came to mind was President Kennedy's assassination, which certainly was the thing that shook me the most until 9/11. So as it turns out, all four age groups said the number one historic event in their lifetime was 9/11. And I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
JFK assassination was number 2 for people my age.
Okay.
Number 3 was the Vietnam War. Again, these are people my age. Number 4 was the election of Barack Obama. How about that?
Really?
I find that a little hard to understand. But
well, think about it. What happened in the 60s? You had all the civil rights up here.
Yeah, I guess.
I can tell you one I think's up there.
Number 5 is the moon landing. Which one were you going to say?
Oh, for me, the death of Princess Diana.
All right, I'm coming back to your group. Hold on to your thoughts.
Okay.
Number 6 was the for the baby boomers, the tech revolution.
Okay.
Number 7 was the civil rights movement. Again, this is my age group. Number 8 was the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War. Number 9 was the Martin Luther King assassination. And number 10 was the Iraq-Afghanistan wars.
Yeah.
So what was the second thing you said, Rizzo? Didn't you say something? Who said something that was
the shuttle explosion?
The shuttle. You said it, Michael.
Yeah.
Shuttle explosion.
Yeah.
I don't see that on any of these lists.
That's surprising. The Challenger.
All right, so let's go to Generation X, which would be your generation. Number 1 was September 11, 9/11. Number 2, they listed as the Obama election. It was that significant to Generation Xers? Number 3 was the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War. Number 4, the tech revolution. Number 5, the Iraq-Afghanistan war. Number 6, the Gulf War. Oh, I'm sorry, Michael. Here it is. Number 7, the Challenger disaster. You're right. It is listed at number 7 for Generation X. Number 8 was gay marriage. Number 9 was Hurricane Katrina. Number 10, the Columbine shooting.
Yeah.
Number 11, the Orlando shooting, which was just last year. Why would that not?
That was this year.
Yeah, this year. That's right. This year, exactly. Number 12, the Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all significant events. No doubt about that. Princess Di didn't make it. The death of Princess Diana. That stuck with me.
Same with. It must have been all right.
No, Princess Di didn't make it. All right, so you want to hear the top 10 for the top 12 for your generation, Rizzo? Here's what the millennials said.
Trump being elected?
This probably took place before that. All right, number 1 was September 11. Number 2 was Obama election. Number 3, Iraq-Afghanistan war. Number 4, gay marriage. Number 5, the tech revolution. Number 6, the Orlando shooting. Number 6? Would you agree with that, Rizzo? Would you have listed that in your top 10, the Orlando shooting?
No, I wouldn't list it in my top 10. I mean, I know it was a big deal, but
Number 7, Hurricane Katrina. Number 8, the Columbine shooting. Number 9, Osama bin Laden. It doesn't say. It just says Osama bin Laden. It doesn't say his death or his whatever or the search. Number 10 was Sandy Hook, another school shooting. Number 11 was the Boston Marathon bombing.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
And number 12 was the Great Recession.
Yeah, okay.
For millennials.
Yeah.
By the way, there's a new movie coming out about the Boston Marathon bomb. Did you see that? Mark Wahlberg. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
If there's a movie and a Boston cop, Mark Wahlberg is going to be in it, typically. I mean,
That's true.
You know?
That's true. Hadn't thought about it.
It's the formula.
Okay, so are there any good movies on for the holidays? I'm thinking about, I haven't gone to. I like Bryan Cranston so much. I'd like to go see them.
I kind of want to see that.
The comedy.
It looks funny.
What it's called? Why Him?
Me? Why him? Why him? Yeah.
But it looks like one of those movies that it looks like it's going to be funny, but you go and you probably think it's going to be. You go and you're like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I might wait for that one to come out because I like the wife in that too. She played in that in a sitcom, and she was so funny. And the wife. And
I don't remember that.
So
what else is coming out?
That movie with Will Smith is out. The Courageous Mind or Beautiful
Collateral.
That doesn't look good to me.
Okay.
That doesn't look enticing to me. No.
Okay.
I guess the big Oscar buzz ones are La La Land and Manchester by the Sea, but they're not pulling in big box office
Manchester
dollars
by
yet.
the Sea looks like it would be interesting, but really depressing.
That's what I heard is extraordinarily sad.
Yeah. In fact, Casey Affleck, who's the star of the movie, started off, he was the host of Saturday Night Live. Did you see his monologue?
Yeah.
And he came out and started talking about how depressing his movie was.
Oh my
and I'm not, I don't like depressing movies. I don't like to go see depressing movies.
I'll be lifted up.
Now, by the way, that's a good segue into my little live read here for Suddenlink, because today, the debut of Sully on demand.
Oh.
Sully.
I didn't see that.
I didn't either. But it debuts today.
Nice.
So, you can watch movies on demand, Suddenlink. If you don't have Suddenlink, I'll give you a deal that you can switch over this week. But other movies on demand right now, Jason Bourne, which is the Matt Damon movie, The Secret Life of Pets, the remake of Ben-Hur, which I have no interest in. What do you think he is, McGee? Hero or fiend? Snowden, Edward Snowden. Traitor or hero? Don't answer that.
Okay.
It's one of those political questions I'm not supposed to ask you.
I'm going to ponder it.
I haven't decided quite myself yet. I think he's probably a traitor.
Yeah. If you had a gun to my head, I'd say traitor.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, there are other ways to affect change in government.
Agreed.
Rather than leaking national security secrets.
Right.
I don't know. By the way, speaking of Suddenlink, if you want to see Sully or Snowden or Ben-Hur or Jason Bourne or any of the great things on demand, you can make the switch right now if you don't have Suddenlink. Here's their current deal. It's their Go Switch event. You get 50 meg internet, TV, and phone for just $79.95 a month with a 2-year guarantee. That's 3 powerful services, 1 low price. Make the switch. Call 866-432-1184 or visit them at suddenlink.com. And by the way, you'll get the fastest internet you can find anywhere. And if you want unlimited data, you can get that too. Just ask for it. And incredible speeds, unlimited data at incredible prices. Just call them at 866-432-1184. 866-432-1184 for Suddenlink. All right, 17 after 8, we're coming back. Representative Greg Murphy live in the studio in just moments. We'll be right back.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys, fallback price $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the fallback savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
My prescription refills.
My son shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results. My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
That's a tough shot.
You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he switched that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
I'm Matthew Sessoms, General Manager at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're planning on breaking sales records this month because the end of the year means huge savings for you. Our customers are very important to us, and we are striving to be Eastern North Carolina's best in sales and service. Stop in and see us at our Black Friday event. Get 20% off select new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but US Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because US Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. US Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local US Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys. Fallback price, $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
All right, we are back. We are chatting with Dr. Greg Murphy, who has entered the building just like Elvis. He just kind of, and you know, he's got on his sparkled suit with open down the front, last sequins on it. Looks just like Elvis this morning. Dr. Greg Murphy, representative from the North Carolina Legislature, House of Representatives, live in the studio with us in just a moment. First, let's catch up on some news headlines, and we're going to catch up on what's going on in Raleigh. Man, there seems to be a few things happening right now. Normally this time of year it's quiet in Raleigh, but it hasn't been quiet last week, and I don't think it's going to be quiet tomorrow. So we'll find out from Greg Murphy in just a minute. First to the news desk, Heather King is here this morning from WITN. Good morning, Heather.
Good morning, Henry. And speaking of Raleigh, the controversial law known as HB2 may soon be gone but not forgotten in North Carolina. A special session to repeal the law is planned for the state legislature tomorrow. Governor Pat McCrory issued a video statement Monday confirming he would call this special session. Republican legislative leaders say they'll take up the repeal of the law that requires people to use the public restroom that corresponds with their birth certificate. Critics say it's discriminatory against the transgender community. This comes after Charlotte repealed the city ordinance that prompted this state legislation. McCrory asked the Charlotte City Council to repeal the ordinance in September, promising a special session to repeal the controversial law at that time, but the effort did not pass then. One local LGBT advocate in Greenville, Amy Bright, says she is upset Charlotte repealed that ordinance. McCrory also issued a statement Monday saying he would sign legislation passed last week that would reportedly strip his successor of significant powers and would require Governor-elect Roy Cooper to have his top agency heads approved by lawmakers. Republicans have a veto-proof majority in both chambers of the state's General Assembly. The legislation would also drastically cut the number of political appointees Cooper could hire to help run his agencies. The search for a missing man from the East has ended with the discovery of his body. Now a homicide investigation is underway. The body of Gary Morton was found Monday on his property on Weatherington Road in Jacksonville, and the sheriff's office says they suspect foul play. Authorities say they found Morton's car partially burned on Sunday in the woods off Haws Run along Southwest Creek. Before discovering the body, Morton and his dog had been missing for 11 days. Authorities say they can't currently release specifics on who discovered the body, but they do have persons of interest. Investigators are also asking for the public's help finding anyone who may have been hitchhiking between December 8th, the day Morton disappeared, through the 18th, the day his body was found. A man was robbed in his own yard at Knife Point. The Martin County Sheriff's Office says the robbery happened in Beargrass late Monday morning. Lieutenant Drew Robinson says the homeowner was outside when two men walked up and demanded money. The victim lives in the 4000 block of Beargrass Road. He suffered minor cuts from the knife being held up to him during the struggle. According to Robinson, the two men got away in a dark pickup truck with silver vent shades on the windows, last seen headed towards Highway 17. Well, you wouldn't want to be without a coat during the winter weather, and thanks to a generous donation by the Fraternal Order of Police, several local kids will be able to bundle up. Members of the Fraternal Order of Police's Tri-County Lodge collected 30 brand new coats to give to kids who may not have the necessities to stay warm and gave them to the Craven County School District for distribution. Officials say this is greatly needed. They will be given to kids after they return from winter break. The coats were given to school counselors who are able to determine if a child needs something warm to wear. Officials say they wait until after the school break to give out the coats to see if any kids in need received coats for Christmas. Those are your WITN News headlines. Henry, back to you.
Thank you very much. Good for those folks in Craven County, and thanks to all the people who donated to our Coats for Kids campaign. In fact, Michael, you're going to pick up some more coats today, right?
Yes.
Take them to social services, so these kids that do not have a winter coat are going to get one. And we're happy for all the response that we got to that in Operation Santa Claus the last 2 weeks. Fantastic stuff. All right, let's check a few sports headlines. Panthers win. Pirates play tonight against the Seahawks. Here's McGee.
Yeah, Carolina beat the Redskins 26-15 Monday night. Cam Newton 300 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win as the Panthers improved to 6-8 on the season and will host the Falcons on Christmas Eve. That game will be at 1:00 on Saturday. ECU men's basketball tonight. The Pirates and the Seahawks from Trask Coliseum. The 64th meeting between the two programs. The Pirates are coming off an 18-point loss to the College of Charleston last week, while the Seahawks have won 7 in a row and are 10-1 on the season. Tip-off is set for 6:30. Scores from last night: number 5 Duke beat Tennessee State 65-55. Luke Kennard led the way with 24 points in that win. ECU senior pitcher Evan Krasinski has been named the 2017 preseason third-team All-American selection by Collegiate Baseball. The Pirates begin practice in January for their spring practice in January. Open the season on the road at Ole Miss. And a scheduled game between the Carolina Hurricanes and Detroit Red Wings was postponed Monday night because of unplayable ice. A freon leak in the cooling system at PNC Arena was discovered earlier in the day. The issue was fixed, but not in time to restart the game.
Couldn't play without the ice, I guess.
You can't play without the ice. It'd be kind of tough, wouldn't it?
They could have probably gone outside the parking lot last night.
It'd be tough to get those slap shots in.
You know, so the Panthers have 2 games left, so they could end up 8-8. But do you know that? Am I right? 2 games left or
2
one?
games left, correct. Falcons and the Bucks.
You know, still that means. You know what that means? That means again, the Carolina Panthers have never had consecutive winning seasons.
So hard to believe.
There's never been. Isn't that hard to believe?
Yeah.
The Panthers have never had 2 seasons in a row with a winning record, which is really crazy. You would have thought they would have done it this year.
You would think.
All right, let's check our weather update. Some patchy drizzle, maybe some rain before lunchtime today, and then a slight chance of rain after lunch. The high temperature will not get to 40 here in Greenville today, 39 for a high. And chance of rain is about 30%. So I'm going to be bundled up while I'm out there ringing that bell today. Partly cloudy, 29 overnight tonight, and things finally warm up tomorrow, 55 tomorrow. And the sun will be out tomorrow, and then a sunny 58 on Thursday. News and weather. A service this morning of Advanced Mechanical in Greenville. They're committed to being Eastern North Carolina's #1 heating and air company by providing trusted, reliable service and making you comfortable. Advanced Mechanical, always giving you a price up front before performing any repair, and they constantly train, screen, and drug test their staff to create the absolute best service possible. Call Advanced Mechanical at 355-9191. They've been making Eastern Carolina comfortable for over 30 years. 355-9191. Thank you, Heather. Good to see you. Merry Christmas. We'll see you after Christmas.
Sometime, yeah.
See you next year if I don't see you again. Thanks for being here. All right, we got to get a break, and we'll come back. And Dr. Greg Murphy from the North Carolina Legislature will join us. What in the world will happen in Raleigh tomorrow? We'll get a preview next.
I'm Matthew Sessoms, General Manager at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're planning on breaking sales records this month because the end of the year means huge savings for you. Our customers are very important to us, and we are striving to be Eastern North Carolina's best in sales and service. Stop in and see us at our Black Friday event. Get 20% off select new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
That's a tough shot.
You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he switched that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep is proud to announce that they now sell new Fiat cars. Fiat has arrived in eastern North Carolina, and you can now buy a new Fiat for less than $17,000 at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Come check out the new Fiat 500 and the 500X crossover, even the gorgeous 124 Spider convertible. It's a new car brand for eastern North Carolina.
Fiat is here at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Come see us.
Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and work week daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit topdogonline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
My prescription refills.
My son's shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results. My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
All right, 8:31. Welcome back. It's a Tuesday Talk of the Town, and we're fortunate to have a guest in the studio that can speak to a lot of the things that are happening in Raleigh right now. Our own local representative in the House of Representatives, Dr. Greg Murphy, live in the studio this morning. Good morning, Dr. Representative.
Good morning. Good morning, Henry. How are you?
It's kind of like when I introduce Rufus Edviston. I never know whether to call him Mr. Secretary, Mr. Attorney General, so I just call him Mr. Secretary General.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's been an interesting couple of weeks, hasn't it?
Henry, it's been an eye opener in my experience in politics, to say the least.
Yeah,
to say the least.
So the legislature will come back tomorrow. The governor called a special session.
Yes,
I saw that Roy Cooper tried to take credit for that early on, and the News and Observer was trying to give him credit yesterday, and then the governor put a stop to that. How did it come about? Why is this happening now?
Well, that's a very good reason because that's a very good question because this has been ongoing for several months. And there have been overtures to the Charlotte City Council to repeal their ordinance, and then HB 2 would be repealed. But I think it's for political purposes. It's hands down. I think that's what politics played into it, and that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because the people who suffered were the citizens of North Carolina, and I actually think the transgender population has suffered most of anything. I think they've been a pawn in all this, personally.
For folks who don't know what happened yesterday morning, the Charlotte City Council surprisingly had a meeting and voted 10-0 to repeal their ordinance on their bathroom policy, which of course is the ordinance that had led to HB 2 to begin with. And there were, Dr. Murphy, there were some people who were pretty sure that this thing was going to get repealed in September because of the threats from the NCAA and the ACC to pull these games out of North Carolina. And it looked like a deal had been struck in September that looks exactly like this deal, right? The deal would be Charlotte would repeal the ordinance, legislature would come back, and then the legislature would repeal House Bill 2.
Sure.
And then, what we understand is that Roy Cooper got in the middle of that and asked Charlotte not to do that.
Hands down.
Do
That's the
you
truth.
think that happened?
I know it happened. I know it happened.
You have evidence that it happened.
Well, I have knowledge that it happened. I don't have evidence. I have knowledge that it happened, and I know for a fact that he called several legislators and told them not to agree with Republican legislation, to work on a compromise on this because, flat out, he wanted Republicans to look bad, which I think is criminal. This is for the state of North Carolina. This is for the people of North Carolina, and it's pure partisan politics, which is honestly disgusting to me. I'm tired of that in my short tenure there, but I'm not going to back down from working hard against it.
So now Cooper has been confirmed as the governor. And
I don't know. I still think they're doing another recount.
I doubt it.
Jill Stein's wanting yet another recount.
Jill Stein's filed for recount. How'd that turn out for
the
you?
Electoral College was interesting yesterday.
So immediately now, just weeks after all that happens, Charlotte does this, and it's interesting. I was curious as to the timing. Why the week before Christmas? Why do it while McCrory is still governor? And then this morning, there was some folks blogging that this has as much to do about Jennifer Roberts' reelection as anything else.
It may very well,
because there are so many people in Charlotte upset with her. It appears that there are going to be several people running against her in the primary in March.
I think there'll be 2 people running against her. Charlotte's actually taken the greatest hit of anybody in the state. We in the East really have not been affected that much. And if you look at the true numbers of this, there are a lot of folks that will say cite one statistic versus another. HB2 really, in true essence of the growing, booming North Carolina economy, has had a relatively small effect numerically as far as economics. Now, as far as what people feel about what's going on in North Carolina, there's a wide range of opinions, but economically, it has hurt some particular areas, but Eastern North Carolina has been relatively unaffected.
So the legislature will go back into session tomorrow, assuming it's going to be a one-day session, although we never know, do we?
I hope.
But now, yesterday afternoon, I picked up from talking to folks in Raleigh that there are still a number of legislators, particularly in your chamber, in the House, that are still on the fence about whether they're going to vote for this or not.
Well, we had a long caucus call last night, and there are some very heated opinions about this entire issue because, one thing was that Charlotte put a condition on their repeal. And here you have a city pretty much trying to tell a state what to do. And, there is a hierarchy of government.
What was the condition?
This is a Dillon law state where cities and municipalities get their ability to govern as chartered by the state. And the condition from Charlotte is, well, we repeal it, but only if HB2 is repealed. Mm-hmm. And that fact in and of itself has irritated a lot of lawmakers. People that were on the fence about doing this have now flopped over and say, well, no, they're not going to tell us what to do. Which, I think has to be swallowing a little bit of pride, and you have to look at what's really best for the state. The good thing is, if this gets repealed, we go back to a time when none of this was an issue. This was never an issue in Charlotte.
The only problem with that, of course, in my mind, is that we do it without a governor that got beat because of it, which is just
well. I mean, that's true, and honestly, I think the governor lost not only because of HB2. I really didn't think that made him lose. Dan Forrest, the lieutenant governor, won. It's really because of what went over in Charlotte with the I-77 toll road, which was something started by Bev Perdue and got hooked onto McCrory. So.
Yeah, I think it was all of that. But so now you mentioned that Charlotte put a condition on it. The condition is that their ordinance is repealed only if the legislature repeals HB2?
By December 31st.
Right.
So they put a time and a condition on it.
So here you have a city council basically dictating to the General Assembly what the deal is going to be.
Well, or trying to in that way. This is where I have to say people just need to put on their big boy panties and just let's get the right thing done. Let's move forward and a lot of folks are concerned that if HB 2 is repealed, that there'll be problems with safety in children. But those laws were in effect before the Charlotte Ordinance and will still be in effect now. It is a housing code in the state of North Carolina that there are to be separate bathrooms and locker rooms.
That's a non-starter. I mean, and even the Human Rights Campaign, you would think they'd be going nuts about this. The people who have been threatening the NCAA, threatening the ACC, you would think they'd come out with a statement that says, this is horrible that Charlotte is repealing it. They haven't.
Well, some individuals have.
Yeah.
And I think, honestly, I think most people of the state are tired of it. The thousands of emails I've gotten and telephone calls, majority say, let's repeal this and move on with this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a very diverse district. I have a very diverse district, and I'm thankful for all the folks that give me their opinions, that do it in a respectful manner. Some people cannot be so nice, but bless their hearts.
Dr. Greg Murphy, House of Representatives member in District 9, which is Pitt County, most of Pitt County. Live in the studio this morning as the legislature gets called back. Now, some people are on some of these conservative bloggers this morning, Bob Harris on Carolina Partnership for Reform, saying, while you guys are there tomorrow, you should go ahead and add 2 Supreme Court justices, which you didn't do last week. And I know you've got some strong opinions on that.
Well, first of all, I don't think that's going to happen. Listening to the caucus calls and everything, folks are a little bit tired of going back into Raleigh when I have a real job and everything, and we do those have other activities, but the business of the day is what the governor called us to do. And so I don't think the part about the Supreme Court will be issued. That was never discussed by any leadership in any avenue I was in. It was always just kind of a snipe hunt.
It's really interesting. McCrory in the News Observer this morning kind of taking credit for talking the legislature out of doing that.
But if he did, it was to
at the leadership level. Maybe.
At leadership level of discussions I have never heard. I never heard about.
And Phil Berger and Tim Moore both on record as saying that, this is not something we've discussed in caucus. It's not something we talked about doing.
Yep, hands down.
But all the other things that took place last week, there of course were the surprise special session after the hurricane session,
right?
Where they
that
came
surprised
back,
me.
yeah. And so now we have a bunch of new laws. And by the way, the governor did sign the second bill yesterday.
He did.
Which takes appointments away from the governor's office and gives them to the legislature. It also now means that the secretaries in his cabinet and Roy Cooper's cabinet will have to be confirmed by the Senate,
right.
Which Phil Berger has pointed out is in the Constitution. It also creates a new layer of appeal in the court process.
System. Right.
Now, instead of a appeal going from the Court of Appeals to the Supreme Court, it goes from a 3-judge panel in the Court of Appeals to the full 15-judge panel.
Right.
So there are a lot of changes. Also, the state superintendent of public instruction they're giving more power to him than June Atkinson had. So a lot of people are looking at this, and the term overreach is what we hear over and over again. People are saying that this is overreach, it's retribution, et cetera. How do you respond to that?
Well, I think all the things that were done according to the state constitution. So, nothing was done that was illegal. Roy Cooper did a lot of this himself 10, 15 years ago. And whether it's right or wrong, I think, I hate to say this, I think this is partisan politics at its worst. Just because one person did it one time doesn't necessarily mean it should happen another time. I have to say I detest this part of our governmental process. All those things that went forward were approved by the governor, it is what it is. Governor Hunt packed the appellate court many years ago, which people are very quiet about, but that happened. And so these things, I'm learning, these things happen oftentimes, but it's now because of instant media that you hear about it much more easily. And so, yeah, it's not a pretty part of the process. It is not a pretty part of the process. It's been, as I said, and I'm saying many times, it's been an eye-opener for me.
It's interesting. You mentioned the media part of it. these things have happened. I know I was reading John Hood's column yesterday. If people haven't read John Hood's column on CarolinaJournal.com, you should go read that today because it really has happened 4 different times in history, and it always happens after the governor gets elected and he's got a legislature of the opposite party.
Yeah.
So there's nothing new about it, except for the fact that you have media now who are going crazy about it. I mean, I'd love to go back and pull up the News and Observer when Roy Cooper and Jim Hunt did this and read what they said about it then. I mean, I'm sure it was covered much differently than the way it's been covered
hands down.
this week.
Well, maybe the News and Observer was not quite as biased then as it is now.
Yeah.
But it's a sad part of politics.
It wasn't, by the way. It was not.
Yes.
It was.
I grew up in Raleigh reading it, thinking it was a great paper.
It's always been. They've always skewed a little bit to the left, but I've said this over and over again. When the Daniels family owned the News and Observer, you knew they were Democrats, and they made no bones about the fact they were Democrats. But you had a sense that they had a sense of fairness about state government and things like that. When the McClatchys bought the newspaper, and they bought both the News Observer and the Charlotte Observer, they bought it for the stated purpose of trying to turn the state Democrat and liberal.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what McClatchys do.
And which is unfortunate because, I mean, so many people, and right or left, will sit there and cite, I heard this on this news channel, I read this on this news channel. Well, thank you, William Randolph Hearst, for bringing this type of demeanor to the press. I think Greenville, or the Daily Reflector, does a pretty good job of trying to balance things. And so, it's sad because it's become polarized. And, that's not a way to get things done.
Right.
And I'm hopeful that I'm going to take an attitude where I want to get things done, and I'm happy to listen to both sides of the story. Doesn't mean I'm going to agree with them, but I'm happy to listen. And I think that's what's important.
So back to House Bill 2, which has been the biggest news story of the year in North Carolina, hands down.
Yes.
And in fact, I don't remember a piece of legislation that's ever had this kind of effect on a state or people. I mean, it's been unbelievable.
I started it because, remember, that was my first day. That was my first day.
It was your
my very first day. They showed me my seat, showed it here. Here's how the buttons work. And by the way, the caucus is voting this way. And if you ever want to get anything done, be a team player.
Yeah, exactly.
So what a baptism in fire.
Yeah,
Isn't that the damn truth?
What have you learned after a year in the legislature? What are the biggest lessons for you?
Wow, that
that's a loaded question.
Keep your keep your friends closer, keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Yeah.
It's a very different world than medicine.
Yeah.
But I'm still trying to maintain the attitude I've had my entire life, and that's try to look at things objectively and vote from with my conscience, which is what I'm going to do. So that's what I think is important.
I remember when you were thinking about running. You were talking to some of us, and you said, well, what if I don't agree with you, or I don't agree with some of these other people and all that? I'm like, oh, that's going to happen.
Oh, you're damn right.
Welcome to politics. That's going to happen.
Thank you for your opinion, but it's wrong. So,
are you glad you did it? And by the way, you just went through your first election because you were appointed last year.
Yes, sir.
And you went through your first election, and what a smackdown. I think you won by 16 points in a swing district, which is almost impossible to do.
In my district, Trump lost by 7 points, and every other Republican lost other than Walter Jones. So I was the only other Republican, which I think just demonstrates good bipartisan support, which is what I like to have. I mean, I'm going to vote on the issues, and I'm going to vote on my conscience. So
what do you think is going to happen tomorrow?
I think it will be. We have caucus tonight, and that will be heated. And
for people who don't understand the process, caucus is when the Republican group, the Republicans in the House, will meet without the Democrats and talk about their strategy.
It's a private session, and this is one thing that people really don't realize, which I honestly did not realize, is that there are a lot of diverse opinions within the Republican Party. A lot of people think that, well, you're a Republican, you all think this way. Well, that's not true. That is not true. And there will be some very diverse and heated opinions tonight. But, we come out tomorrow, and this will not be a party line vote. On the Republican side, hands down, it will not be, and I think tomorrow that, we go in at 10 o'clock. We go into session. They adopt the rules. They say this is a special session, so we have to follow these rules. And then the bill will be introduced, and then it will go to a committee. So we'll recess. And then it'll be voted. It'll be discussed and voted on the committee, and then brought back to the House.
Which committee does it go to? Rules?
It'll probably go to the Rules Committee.
Yeah.
This. I hope it will be a day for certain reasons, but then it's going to be as long as it's going to take. And I'm glad that we've gotten to this point where we can at least discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an important thing.
But by the way, speaking of committees, I need to congratulate you because you have been named. I don't want to get it wrong. Aren't you? Did you not get co-chair?
I not officially yet, but
so
I've been told by the
is,
Speaker I will be a co-chair for Health, which is a big deal.
With Health and Human Services.
Yes, sir.
Which will be a really big deal for
Eastern
Eastern North Carolina, Brody School of Medicine, Vidant Health, all the things that we all love here and care about.
That doesn't happen to rookie redshirt legislators very often.
But you happen to not. You happen to be a rookie redshirt, but you also happen to be the only physician in the legislature.
Right. That's right.
So they're probably looking to you for answers on a lot of this stuff.
Well, I think it's important that I carry that expertise there.
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you for coming in.
I am happy to do it. And
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas.
I know
to you
your family's on vacation, and you didn't get to go because of all this stuff, but I hope you get to go later.
Well, I put them on a plane on Saturday, and hopefully they're moving from port to port, and depending upon when we finish.
And you're here working on HB too.
Well, it's important work for the people, and
people have no idea of the sacrifices, do they?
Well, they don't. They don't. I had no idea of the sacrifices, but this isn't all about doing things in the world. It's about doing the right thing, I think.
Yeah.
So,
Greg Murphy, House of Representatives member,
all right,
here in Pitt County. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Henry.
Appreciate it. 10 in front of 9. Be right back.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys. Fallback price, $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but U.S. Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot, or stream way out here. Because U.S. Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. U.S. Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
I'm Matthew Sessoms, General Manager at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're planning on breaking sales records this month because the end of the year means huge savings for you. Our customers are very important to us, and we are striving to be Eastern North Carolina's best in sales and service. Stop in and see us at our Black Friday event. Get 20% off select new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
My prescription refills.
My son shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results. My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep is proud to announce that they now sell new Fiat cars. Fiat has arrived in Eastern North Carolina, and you can now buy a new Fiat for less than $17,000 at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. Come check out the new Fiat 500 and the 500X crossover, even the gorgeous 124 Spider convertible. It's a new car brand for Eastern North Carolina.
Fiat is here at East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Come see us.
Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field. Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he switched that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys, fallback price $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the Fallback Savings Event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
Talk of the town. 8:53. Good to have you back here. It is Tuesday morning, and thanks to Dr. Greg Murphy for being here. By the way, Congressman Walter Jones, live in the studio tomorrow morning. So we got a lot of our friends in the political world, and we'll give you the outcome and do some coverage tomorrow morning and some analysis also on what takes place today in Raleigh for the tomorrow for the upcoming session. And of course, as Dr. Murphy said, the Republican caucus is meeting tonight, so maybe we'll have a little insight into that tomorrow if we can get some of our spies working. I can't ever get Murphy to tell me anything, but we have other spies. We have ways of getting information, so we will deal to you tomorrow. 6 minutes in front of 9. Children's World, one of our great sponsors. I want to thank Billy Walton and all the folks at Children's World for another great year. And, of course, it's been great to have them as a sponsor on Talk of the Town. Billy wanted me to let you know that registration is upcoming for the new Children's World Learning Center and Academy on Arlington Boulevard. They'll start reserving spots right after Christmas, right after the first of the year, and there's going to be a limited number available. They're going to have an open house coming up in January. Listen for information about that, and stay on the lookout for the announcement on Facebook, and we'll also be announcing it here on Talk of the Town as well. Grades, first and second grades and kindergarten. An open house, and if you want to go and check out the new facility, Children's World, more grades coming in coming years, and they're currently working on plans for floor plans for a new building with a planned groundbreaking in February, and it should be complete in August in time for the new school year. So, man, they got so much going on at Children's World, and if you want more information, you can contact them at 355. Whoops, wrong number. Let me make sure I got the right number here. Well, Billy's office number is 756-8534. 756-8534. And they can give you more information about the upcoming open house coming to Children's World Learning Center and Academy. All right, 8:56. About 4 minutes now in front of the hour of 8 o'clock. I want to thank our special guest this morning, Greg Murphy, for being with us. Thanks to Heather King for being here. Watch out for the patchy drizzle out there. Rain is still drizzling, a slight chance of rain after noon as well. Mostly cloudy with a high temperature today, only 39 degrees. And partly cloudy, 29 this afternoon. Hey, I wanted to mention also this afternoon coming up on 94.3 The Game, Josh Graham is back. He was on vacation last week. But what a week Josh Graham has going on this afternoon. He's got interviews with Scotty Montgomery between 5 and 7 and Mick Mixon. And then coming up on Thursday, he'll have Jeff Kopfer and Steve Logan. So a big week on Game Time, 5 to 7 every day on 94.3 The Game. But this afternoon, Josh's exclusive interview with Scotty Montgomery. So tune in for that. And we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Eastern North Carolina's truck headquarters is
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep. We have over 100 new Rams in stock. That's the largest in Eastern North Carolina.
If you're in the market for a new truck, now is the time. It's the Black Friday sales event now through November 30th. Buy now and get 20% off MSRP on select new Ram trucks.
East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
Come see us.
Across from the Cracker Barrel in Greenville.
Every wireless provider has towers in the city, but U.S. Cellular put towers in places the other guys didn't. So you can video chat at your secret fishing spot or stream way out here. Because U.S. Cellular thinks you deserve a signal that works wherever you are. U.S. Cellular, a stronger signal in the middle of anywhere.
Visit Real Wireless, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent in Ahoskie, Williamston, and Windsor for the best deals in wireless and great service on a network that works in the middle of anywhere.
I'm Matthew Sessoms, General Manager at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We're planning on breaking sales records this month because the end of the year means huge savings for you. Our customers are very important to us, and we are striving to be Eastern North Carolina's best in sales and service. Stop in and see us at our Black Friday event. Get 20% off select new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram trucks at the all-new Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and WashingtonChrysler.com.
That's a tough shot. You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field. Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he swished that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.
My prescription refills.
My son's shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results. My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
Top Dog Academy is Eastern North Carolina's complete dog training facility. Top Dog provides an excellent environment for dogs of all ages with training services and workweek daycare. Top Dog is located on Highway 43 South, just 4 miles from Bells Fork, and features a comfortable, healthy environment and a spacious facility for daycare and a brand new, beautiful facility for training. Call 752-8215 or visit TopDogOnline.com.
Come on out Highway 43 South to Top Dog Academy, where we know dogs.
We're setting prices way back at Greenville Toyota. Camrys, not $20,000, just $16,900. That's Camrys, fallback price $16,900. Plus, get our advantage during the fallback savings event at Greenville Toyota, where our volume saves you money.
My prescription refills.
My son's shot records.
My doctor's appointments.
My lab results. My parents' care.
My chart.
Vidant My Chart.
Vidant MyChart is the secure online patient portal that lets you manage your health your way. Visit VidantMyChart.com or call 1-855-MyVidant to learn how you can sign up.
That's a tough shot.
You're right. Can't bear to look. This must be what Luke Kuechly feels like when he takes the field.
Man, this is what Kevin must have felt like when he swished that game winner.
Look for limited edition Pepsi Panthers cans and packaging in stores now. Pepsi, official soft drink of the Carolina Panthers.